All right, came back from the digital job site for another look at this SketchUp's Ultimate miter saw stand model. In the previous video, I showed how some things about manipulating the model for different views and a few things about textures and x-ray view, etc. And I thought on this little session I would do some things about moving and showing and hiding to get an idea how the different parts in this model relate. And when you download it, it's set up in this mode with this drawer kind of floating out here in space, and one of the extensions hanging out there like you're going to cut a piece of crown molding that direction. The other extension is shown in its collapsed mode. And you can assume that it looks something like that when it's extended. But the nice thing with SketchUp is if you want to see what that looks like, this model was structured with some things, some geometry that's grouped. And you can see when I click on, say on this back fence or this extension, I get a large blue box. And it might not make sense what that means, but that is a set of geometry that's all grouped. And those things that are grouped are moving, they'll move together, they'll behave together. And I grab the move tool, and then I'm just going to hold down the right arrow key, which will move this grouped geometry in on the red axis direction. So if you wanted to see what this group of geometry look like, that is the aluminum bar, the heavy bar, and then these adjustable parts for holding up the trim. You can just pull it out of the model. You can look at it. You can zoom around and look at it. And then, okay, we're done doing that. Click the back button, and it puts it right back where it was. And while that geometry is selected, I still have the move tool. And now I'm going to click the left arrow key, which will move that extension in the green axis direction. So you can just pull the bar out, and you can see a little, if you look close, you can see a little green dotted line shows you're moving it in the green direction. I can also throw it out here in space anywhere if it's important to keep it moving in a direction. If you hold the left arrow and the shift key at the same time while it's selected, then, yeah, I didn't get it right. But you can do that. Yeah, now I've got it locked in there. So the mouse is going all over the place, but this will only move in the green axis because the shift key locks it in that. It's just going to move along that axis. So you can move stuff like that. You can close up the miter stand. I'll just use the back arrow key to put it back where it was. If you wanted to take this one, I've just selected another item. Here again, I'm going to use the left arrow key. I'm going to grab the back surface of this plate because it fits next to the housing of the miter. I'm just clicking the left arrow. It's going to move it in the green direction. And I'm going to hold down the shift key and show you that. Yeah, see, it kind of got a little jiggling there. So I've grabbed the back side. I click that to select it. Left arrow key, shift, and it's going to move only in the green direction. And then if I just hover over this surface, you can see that it snaps it even with the end of the box. If I want to go even with this drawer or whatever, then that means I don't have to go zooming in and dial in and get it stuck right on that face. By holding the arrow key and the shift key, SketchUp will put it there all on its own. So I can move that around. You can see how those move. Same thing with the drawer. I'm going to put this drawer back where it goes. Right arrow key. And you can see how the drawer didn't close flush because I just grabbed it willy-nilly. If I grab it on the front corner of the drawer, then as I move it, it'll index to the face of the model. If I want to do both drawers, I can. That drawer is selected. Now I'm clicking the other drawer, and those two groups of geometry will move at the same time. We can, if I get this right, I can move both drawers on their own. So those are some of the moving features that are pretty handy in SketchUp. Another thing that can be done, here's some group geometry, and if I wanted to study how the underside of this table is put together, I can just select some geometry. I can go View, Actually, got ahead of myself. I'm going to select that, right click, and then say hide. It just makes that disappear. There's other ways of doing this with layers, but I won't get into that here. If we want to get that table back after we've kind of looked at this, let me see what this is. We're just going to hide this component. And now I can see down inside the model. And then by going View, Hidden Geometry, you can see this little matrix. If I want to put this table back and not the bottom panel, I can just select that grouping of geometry, right-click it, choose Unhide, and presto, there it is. If I want to not see this hash marks, I can just get rid of it with the Hidden Geometry. All those parts still exist. I didn't erase anything. They're just hidden from view temporarily. And you can just go through all these various methods and tools, and you really get a different view of the model and begin to see the benefits. And another thing about this is, if you said, I really like this, the concept of this stand, you can go in and do things. If your miter box, instead of being 3 3/4 inches tall, if it was 4 1/2 inches tall, I can select this table and just raise it up. What would I need? 1.25. I'm not paying attention to my math here. 4.5, something like that. So you can move things around and modify the model, make it your own. If you decide this is too big to fit in your pickup truck, one way of doing things, doesn't work universally, but I've selected some geometry there, and I grabbed something called a scale tool, and I can change the size of components, shrink them down, and see what their dimensions would end up being. Those are some things that, if a person has a desire to work with SketchUp and learn some things, adapt it to something they might be interested in building, I would hope that a person would visit the digital job site and a lot of the other fine online tutorials about using this program. And with a little bit of an open mind, I think you can see how beneficial this type of technology is. It doesn't replace everything in the workshop, but it sure makes planning nice, easy, and easy to understand, and easy to share and communicate. So I'll get off my soapbox and wrap up this video, and I hope this has helped you see into the possibilities of SketchUp.